Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to the Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you found me. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I want to have a conversation about fear of rejection and its associated pain that comes from being rejected. So I'm sure we all been rejected in our lives at some point in time or another. Rejection pretty much gives us a bad taste in our mouth, a lousy feeling, and sometimes a great deal of pain, especially when one is being rejected verbally and through the actions from a romantic partner or family member. There are all sorts of rejections, and many of us experience quite a few of them. That brings me to a story about Samantha. Samantha had always been terrified of rejection. It wasn't just about relationships. It was everything, in fact. It was job applications, friendships, even ordering a complicated cup of coffee. The mere thought of hearing no made her stomach twist. But today was different. Today, she had to face her biggest fear, her job, her dream job as creative director at the top marketing firm in Manhattan. Now, this firm had an open position. She had rehearsed her pitch, she refined her portfolio, and even practiced power poses in front of the mirror. But as she stood outside the glass doors of the towering office building, doubt whispered in. It whispered in her ear, real clear. What if they don't like my ideas? What if they think I'm not good enough? What if I fail? Her heart pounded, her feet frozen to the sidewalk. Then an older woman exited the building, smiling warmly at her. Are you okay, honey? Samantha forced a smile. Just nervous, she replied. The woman chuckled. You know, confidence isn't about never fearing rejection. It's about trusting yourself anyway. Go in there and own your worth. The word struck something deep inside her. Was she really going to let fear dictate her life? No, not today. Taking a deep breath, she stepped inside the interview room and she felt intimidated. But as she spoke, she realized something. She was prepared. She was capable. And most importantly, she believed in herself. By the end, the hiring manager smiled. You've got something special, Samantha. We'll be in touch. She walked out lighter than ever before. Whether she got the job or not, she had won because today she faced her fear of rejection head on. It no longer had power over her. And why did I share that story? I really wanted you to understand that fear of rejection is a thought. Social acceptance is a big issue too, because many people face social acceptance every single day with growing, increasing numbers of social media and the feeling of belonging to a social conglomerate of acceptance. The longing to be part of an illusion is staggering. The illusion is an appearance that may be or may not be factual. Did you know that researchers come to understand that there is a correlation between the pain of rejection and a physical pain? They're not that much different. I want you to imagine for a moment you inadvertently touched the hot stove and burned your hand. You now have first or second degree burns. The pain can be excruciating. However, over the course of a period of a little bit of time, that pain dissipates. But the scar remains as a constant reminder to be careful around the stove, right? Why? Because you don't want to get that pain. You don't want to feel it. You don't want to experience that pain any longer. Many people have experienced pain that a partner caused, whether it was cheating verbally or ending a relationship abruptly or any other reason. The scars run deep. They can affect individuals in many different ways, emotionally, cognitively, and sometimes physically. However, these pains sometimes last long, and for some, it lasts a lifetime. We are emotional creatures, and we all know that. And our emotions can get in the way of judgment, typically leading us astray from logic. Our brain constantly wants to protect us. Being rejected signals an area of our brain that detects threats. That's why our prefrontal cortex, part of the brain that appears to shut down or temporarily out of order, preventing us from looking at a situation in a logical manner. Now that pain, that situation has lowered our dopamine levels. They start to plummet, leaving us sad and depressed. This becomes like a domino effect, and if it's not put in check, it could lead to a host of health issues too, leaving some people with a lifelong, deep-rooted issue. So when a person has hurt you romantically, a partner may put up walls around their heart and install alarms in their conscious mind, never to be put in that position to be hurt again, reciting to protect themselves for years to come. What about bullying, in person or cyberbullying? This is not only a form of harassment or assault, it's also a form of rejection that can sometimes lead to a person being bullied where they will probably cause harm to themselves. And one of the reasons for that is they're hurt and having low self-esteem. The truth is, we all have experienced a form of rejection in one way or another. And if you don't believe me, example is you didn't get the job, rejection. They didn't like you for whatever reason, or you wasn't qualified, right? The board didn't like your proposal. Rejection. You had a crush on that person that you thought you would have a great relationship, but they didn't reciprocate it. Rejection. You tried to get your point across with someone that you know, and you couldn't get your point across. They didn't see it your way, and you didn't see it theirs. Rejection on both fronts. Rejection. Fear of rejection can have a serious effect on various situations in our lives. Fear of vulnerability can limit deep emotional connections. Competency can raise an excessive people person. But did you know that hesitation in applying for promotions or new opportunities due to fear of failure, fear of rejection? I want you to think about that. If you're dealing with any of those things, creative individuals also may have avoidance sharing their work due to criticism because of what? They fear rejection. They fear that people may not like their song, their poetry, their poems, their writings, their prose, whatever the case may be. I know before I started this podcast, I had fear of rejection. I thought people wouldn't listen to me. I thought maybe I lived a life, but maybe I don't have anything to say that's worthwhile for anybody else to listen to. Maybe nobody would understand my poetry. Maybe nobody would like it. Fear of rejection. I had to put those fears aside, and so do you. In closing, fear of rejection is natural. It's wired into us as human beings. We all crave acceptance, connection, and validation. But the truth is, not everyone will agree with you, accept you, or even value you. And that's okay. Rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's simply a part of life, a redirection towards something better suited for you. Every no you face brings you closer to the right yes. Think of it that way. The most successful and confident people in the world aren't the ones who never face rejection. They're the ones who refuse to let it define them. So embrace rejection, learn from it, grow through it, because the more you face it, the stronger and bolder and more unstoppable you become. Go out there and take chances, and never let the fear of rejection keep you from your life or the life that you deserve to live. You are worthy no matter who says no to you, no matter who rejects you. Hey, listen, I only want the very best from you. And I believe that if you're looking for a way to deal with rejection and you're still having trouble dealing with rejection, it's simple. Hit me up at the last podcast 443. I have some tools, some ideas that will work with you on a much deeper level. I'd be more than happy to give it to you for free. So send me an email telling me you want to go deeper with the fear of rejection and you want to eliminate it and work through it in your own life. And I'll send you this report. I'll send you a couple of pages of activities that you can go through. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, when you start to go through these activities, when you start to look at fear in a different lens and from a different perspective, it becomes clear. you'll be in a position to challenge your fears, limiting beliefs, and thoughts that hold you back. If you want to go deeper after working with these worksheets and stuff like that, hit me up and I'll work with you personally. You can contact me through the last podcast 443@gmail.com. Again, I thank you so much for listening. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.